Hello, everyone. Claire Bear here, and I got an update today, Thursday, January 27th, on the hearing from Letecia Stauch. We had some motions that we talked about the other day during our update, and today they actually had an in-person, in-court room motion hearing. Actually, Letecia Stauch was present, and so was Gannon's father, Al. And today it actually is the 2-year anniversary since the young child Gannon's death. Let's go over some of the things that Judge Gregory Werner actually, put motions on today. He actually reviewed several of the things that we talked about the other day. There are several pre-trial issues that had to be discussed, and let's go over them one by one. The first one that was addressed was the motion to suppress the contents of the cell phone. Defense attorneys, remember, they argued that the warrant was too broad. They didn't know what she was going to say or what was going to be covered. And we had a good chuckle over that in the last update because we did think it was ridiculous. And Judge Werner brings up that Stauch's behavior in relationship to that evidence on the phone, mentions her use of the phone to communicate with her daughters and everyone else and make posts on social media, so that the phone is linked to the home security system. So, based on the conduct of the defendant in the case alone, there is absolute reason to search literally everything that was on that phone. All of it. There is no such thing as too broad when it comes to a cell phone warrant. He has denied that motion to suppress the contents of the telephone. No surprise there. The next topic was the motion to suppress the wiretap evidence. Judge Werner mentions that there are around 120 pages in regards to that warrant in the arrest affidavit. And, we do have links to that arrest affidavit in other updates that, or you can DM me and I can get it to you. But however, Judge Werner said that he's going to deal with these issues separately because there are 2 phone numbers involved with the wiretap. So we're going to start with phone number 1. That is the phone believed to be obtained by Letecia Stauch after her other phone was seized as evidence. In other words, they took phone number 1, so she went out and got another phone, and they put a wiretap on it. Judge Werner says there was probable cause for that wiretap because it was issued regarding to phone number 1. Because she went out and got it after her phone was seized and there was going to be more communication. All right. Judge Werner then addressed phone number 2, and it believed that that phone was obtained approximately a week after she got the other phone. So at that point, detectives had already executed a search warrant for the first phone, so it is among common sense that, of course, they're going to ask for a search warrant for the next phone. In other words, whatever phone you have, Letecia, they had every right. They had every right. And this is what the judge is going along and saying. Okay. Next up, the motion to suppress the home security system, the ADT home security system. Prosecutors didn't actually file a written response against that because they say that their warrant is clear enough. Their warrant was not overly broad, and the affidavit and above lays out every specific part of why the home security data was necessary and why that warrant should stay in place. Defense says that there's no date range in the warrant, so they want it thrown out. They said that the date range is written so that you can go back years and years on that search warrant, and it's just not fair because you didn't specify a time period. Of course, we can also go and read that warrant, which was quite long. But Judge Werner states that that warrant, like many others, that has access to information from a third-party vendor. The judge says the defendant herself is the one who mentioned there may have been someone else in the house. So Judge Werner denies the motion to suppress the ADT home security system. Not looking good for the defense at this point. Letecia, you're driving this judge crazy. Read the room. Allegedly, my opinion, of course. Next, a request to change the venue for the case. It is very high profile in El Paso County. Judge says it may be too premature to discuss this topic, so he's not going to right now. And so he moved on to our last issue. Next up, we're going to talk about the mental health evaluation for Letecia Stauch at the State Hospital in Pueblo. This was discussed quite heavily from what they're saying in the hearing, although we don't have a transcription. But Letecia's attorneys have said before it's regarding some type of mental health issue involving the time after Gannon had passed. So, Judge Werner reads a letter from the professionals at the facility, and in that letter, they believe they can schedule an evaluation in February of this year and reveal the findings in March of this year, 2022. So a trial date is currently now reset for March 28th of 2022. But Judge Werner brings up concerns that may be too close, the actual mental health evaluation and results are too close to that trial date. So he's now discussing pretrial preparations. He states he needs both sides to give him all of their list of witnesses by this February 11th, which is soon. The judge plans to have multiple courtrooms for the jury selection because of the amount of people. They will actually be interviewing over 70 people a day to find their jury pew. A questionnaire is also being used to screen possible jurors and their knowledge of the case ahead of time. He expects that the jury selection will take over a week. April 4th is now the anticipated date for opening arguments if the jury is selected according to plan. Judge Werner states that attorneys for both sides will have their electronics tethered to the table during the trial. Something about them not falling off on the floor or getting lost? I don't know. That part was confusing. Without looking at the transcript, I really can't speculate on what that was about. But as is everything with the Letecia Stauch update or anything to do with this one, it's a little weird. And I'm just going to have to check more of it out later. For the record, Letecia Stauch was there and she stayed silent during the whole hearing. She was seated next to her attorneys and, of course, in her orange jumpsuit. At the hearing then ended, and as I stated, every single one of the motions denied, except for the motion for a change of venue, which was tabled for now. They're going to try to get a jury together. If they have trouble, maybe then the change of venue will go through, or if there's more motions or a better argument to be presented. But otherwise, he refused to rule on that motion today. At the hearing ending, and now the next court appearance is set for March 17th. And before that, we will have a mental evaluation on Letecia Stauch. So, on that, there's your update on Letecia, our favorite crazy judge writing suspect, alleged murderer. Alleged. We must say alleged at this time. I'm looking forward to this trial, and it looks like we are going to see it this year, and they are no longer delaying it for another year. So on that note, murder minions, I think we're all a little happy about that we're actually going to see some progress. So until the next update, see you all later. Bye.